Hello and welcome to the Golf Ireland pod. I am your host Stephen Murphy and I'm delighted to be with you here for another episode to recap all the action in the amateur golf scene in Ireland, and we have a huge episode for you this week. As always, we have a guest. I'm delighted that we'll be joined by Sara Rose Shelly later on to talk about her journey in golf and her work currently within the Golf Ireland structure. And as always, we'll be looking forward to next week's actions. But first, we will start by always looking back at the last week's actions. We will start off at the European Team Championships, where Ireland had 4 teams in action. We will start off with the women's team. And unfortunately, Beck Coulter was the only winner for Ireland against France in the Ladies Flight A. Coulter won 4-3 against Lois Lau, and while Kate Lanigan also managed to secure a draw against Adela Kiernesek, defeats for the team for Jessica Ross and Mairead Martin, along with Sarah Byrne and Anna Foster in the singles, ensured Ireland fell to a 3.5 to 1.5 loss. Great effort there from the women's, and unlucky there to lose out against the French, but fantastic week there for the women. In the girls, we will have Sara Rochelle to recap all the action for them. But Kate Dillon won the decisive point for Ireland as they bet England 3-2 in 3-2 in their girls' Flight A playoffs. So fantastic win there for the girls. Marina Joyce Moreno provided the momentum with her 6-5 win over Sophia Fulbrook, and with the team of Emma Fleming and Anna Abaum also winning their match. It helped Ireland to a narrow victory there over their local rivals. So brilliant week for the girls. Congratulations there to all involved. In the men's section, Alex Maguire is one of the winners on the final day of the European Amateur Team Championship in Royal Waterloo. Ireland's emphatic 6-1 victory over England secured third place. So a huge win there for the men's team. 6-1 is very convincing there. No doubt about that one. So Ireland were in charge from the start when Keelan Rafferty and Matt McLean continued their outstanding week with a 2-holes win over Barclay Brown and Dylan Shaw Radford. Mark Power and Liam Nolan were 3-1 winners also against John Goff and Jack Bigham. Maguire defeated Goff in the singles too, 3-2, before wins for Power and McLean were enough to end the week on a high in Belgium. So a huge congratulations to the men's team. Fantastic week, and a lot of those guys just continued their amazing golf and their amazing form. It's been a fantastic summer so far for them. Finally then, the boys, Jack Murphy secured a crucial point on the 20th hole that helped Ireland claim the European Boys Team Championship Flight B, thanks to a big 4-1 win over the Netherlands. Fantastic effort there again. The team of Aegon Brady and Mark Gazzi were 3-2 winners in the foursomes before Murphy, Sean Keeling and Fionn Dobbin all won their singles. Gavin Tierney was the only player to come out on the wrong side of his match there, but it didn't matter. Ireland claimed the 4-1 win there, so huge congratulations to all involved there across all 4 teams doing Golf Ireland. Very proud. In other news then, Connor Stone from Carton House lost by 1 shot in the US Adaptive Open, and he blamed his lack of competitive experience. Stone, who played Senior Cup for the County Meath Golf Club, had every chance in the back 9 at Pinehurst, but it was 75 wasn't good enough as England's Kip Poper triumphed. The +3 round though ensured Stone finished with a 1 under total, tied for second place with the Republic of Korea's Simon Lee. Stone was in good form with carried rounds of 67 and 73, but a pair of double bogeys on Wednesday put paid to his chances of claiming the title. He had a quote there. He said, "I actually felt okay. I was hitting the ball too well starting off, but made a nice birdie on the first, a nice birdie on the second, and then unfortunately hit a poor shot on the third. But still, tied second place there at the US Adaptive Open. A fantastic week for Connor Stone, so congratulations to him." We also had the Leinster Boys and Girls Under 18 Open Amateur Championship, and Hannah Lee McNara from Royal Portrush was the winner of the Leinster Girls section. The event was played at New Forest Golf Club. 45 girls competed in the 54-hole stroke play championship, with 24 girls making the cut after the second round, and the Royal Portrush golfers shot rounds of 76, 74 and 76 to finish the tournament on 4 over par and 1 shot clear of Ellen O'Shaughnessy. So congratulations there to Hannah Lee McNara on a great win there. In the boys section then, Donnacha Cleary from Tipperary, he won with scores of 65, 74 and 72 for 5 under total. 65 there, very impressive. 84 players teed up in the boys section. with 41 boys making the cut as well. It was an exciting championship overall for the boys, and Cleary tied the top of the leaderboard with James Walsh. They entered a 3-hole playoff, which was unable to separate them, and they remained tied and needed sudden death holes. They both birdied the par 3 16th and headed for the 17th tee, and Cleary made a fantastic birdie on 17 to take the title. Wow, back-to-back birdies. Very, very impressive there from Donegal Cleary. So congratulations to Hannah Lee McNara and Donegal Cleary there on their under-18s wins. In other news then as well, Beth Coulter and Alex Maguire have been selected to represent Europe in the Patsy Hankins Trophy and Bonalac Trophy respectively against Asia Pacific at La Manga Resort in Spain from the 3rd to the 5th of August. Beth and Alex have both been on flying form this season, so fantastic there to represent Europe, and duly deserved. As their inclusion underscores the incredible depth of talent within Irish golf at the moment. I said 4 teams in action already this week over the European continent there. So congratulations to Beth and Alex, and I'm sure they will go on and play incredibly well at La Manga. And then finally, Lauren Walsh has received a grant for 2023 for the Golf Ireland Professional Scheme in partnership with Sport Ireland. Not too long ago, she was helping Wake Forest win historic NCAA success in the States. And Walsh, I'm sure, is thrilled to benefit from the Golf Ireland Professional Scheme. So congratulations to her on that incredible achievement. And I think that recaps all the action for this week. I will now take us over to our chat with Sara Shelly. So hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back then after that to look ahead to next week's action. I am now delighted to be joined by the High Performance Coordinator of Golf Ireland, and that is none other than Sara Shelly. Sara, thank you so much for joining me here on the Golf Ireland pod. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Thanks for having me on here.
No problem. You're more than welcome. But so how's life been, Sara? Are you enjoying the changeable weather that we're having here in Ireland?
Well, yeah, no, life is pretty full on at the minute. We're full steam into the golf season, so I just got back last night actually from the European Girls Team Championships. So I have to say we had some very nice weather over there. And it was super hot at times for the girls, but it was a really great week. So it was a nice change, definitely a nice change from the Irish weather, and the just to kind of get out with the girls and experience that kind of scene was really, really enjoyable actually, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We will get stuck into that in a few minutes. But first of all, let's learn a bit more about yourself, Sara, and your journey in golf. How did you come about starting to work for Golf Ireland? Has golf always been in your life when you were younger?
Yeah, so I always wanted to work in sport, whether I played sport a lot when I was growing up. My main kind of activities were tennis, golf, and hockey. So I studied sport in college in UCD, and I just always knew that's what I wanted to do. So I finished my college degree and started working actually with the Athletics Ireland, the governing body with them. We spent a good bit of time, maybe like 2 years there in their competitions department. And then I saw the opportunity to join Leinster Golf, which was before Golf Ireland when it came in. And I gathered my experience there for about a year and a half. And then Golf Ireland came about, and I jumped at the opportunity to join their high performance department. So that's where I am now, and I'm really enjoying it. It's myself, James Corcoran, and Neil Manship. I think you had him on last week. So I work with the three of them, and it is very full on. It's especially in the summer, but we have our coaching program that runs right the way through the winter as well. So there's never really much downtime, which is good. But I like to be busy. I like to be active. So it suits me down to the ground. But sport for me was just always where I wanted to go. And I guess when I started playing golf myself back in secondary school, I got hooked right away. Even though I'd say my mom, when she first said, "Sara, why don't you try golf?" There's no chance I was going to the golf club. She was like, "Go on, give it a go." And sure enough, that's the last of it. Like, I was hooked right away. So I just kind of knew I always wanted to work in an area that I was passionate about, and that's golf. So I have to say the role that I'm in at the minute is quite rewarding in that sense, because I'm able to work with the athletes, work with the coaches, and I discuss different things with Neil and James, and then also discussing areas on the curriculum with the coaches and feeding that back to parents. So there's a lot of different aspects to it, and then in the summer, then traveling with the teams. So it does vary, which is good because you get a bit of a mix of everything. So that's kind of my background there.
Very good, thank you. You said you had your concerns when starting golf. What were those concerns, and then what actually about golf made you really love it?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it was probably one of those typical things. I kind of thought golf was, just for my mom and just for her friends. I didn't. None of the people in school that I was friends with played golf. None of the girls, anyway. There was a couple guys who did, but I kind of just was like golf. Like, no, I don't think I could do that. I like my hockey. I like my tennis. But when I started playing, there's just something about it. Like, I think I'm a very competitive person, so I guess it wasn't really a shock that I got hooked to it because once you start playing in competitions, it's a game for yourself. You're playing against yourself a lot of the time, and you just want to keep getting better and better and better. And it takes time, it takes practice, but I'm very routine based, so I think it kind of suited me in that sense. But then in the summer, you have all your summer holidays to really go after the golf and to put a lot of time into playing in competitions and meeting people outside of school as well, which I think was really important. I had a good group of people in my local club who I used to play with, so that was definitely an important factor for me because I was still able to be out and about. I wasn't missing too much, like I was still getting social interaction, so that was definitely an important thing. But I guess that's not in all clubs. Like, there was a dip then for a while where there was no juniors in my club. So it definitely goes in peaks and troughs and you kind of have to find your way. But um, I just thought it was a great sport to really meet different people, play on your own if you needed to. Like, it's not like you need a partner all the time. So that was a beneficial thing as well. So I think it just kind of suited me, to be honest.
Yeah, I think everyone has a reason, obviously, to get into golf, but it seems to just become obsessive with most of
Yeah.
us who are really into it.
Literally, once
That
you hit that shot, you're like, oh my gosh, I need to come back here
yeah,
as soon as possible.
yeah. You hit 99 bad ones, but you hit one good one, and then you're back. That's how it
Yeah.
works. But you're obviously a very accomplished athlete, Sarah. Because I've did some reading on you. Obviously, you played, as you said, hockey, tennis, and I believe you play off a five. Maybe not anymore. I don't know, but you definitely got down to a five handicap. Is that fair?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Very
Yeah, I
good.
need to be playing a bit more now at the minute, but yeah, that was my lowest at the minute.
Very good. Well, that's very impressive. So well done.
Thanks. I had a good team
Let's.
around me. I had a good team around
Yeah,
me.
exactly. Yeah, as you mentioned before, the European Girls Team Championships were on, and you were involved with the girls' team, which included Anna Abom, Olivia Costello, Kate Dillon, Emma Fleming, Marina Joyce Moreno, and Katie Poots. Tell us about the entire experience, Sarah. Tell us about the results. How did you and the girls get on?
Yeah, so I was standing in as captain for the girls team, and I was there with Chris Jelly, who's the coach for our national girls panel, and Michelle Carroll was there to help us as well, along with Neil. So there was a good crew of us there to help. Michelle and Neil actually tag team, and they both left at different times, but it was a like the golf course. It was in Hossegor, so it was a really really well set up course, and it was also very central in terms of the town. Like, you could get to everywhere nice and quickly. You weren't getting taxis and transfers, which is always just adds to the kind of logistics of the week. So I think that was really helpful. The girls just played unbelievable golf. It was amazing to witness it firsthand. It was kind of my first position as a captaincy role, so it was something new for me to try, and I was excited. I had spoken to Kate Gallagher before I went out there, who would normally be in the captaincy position. So she gave me lots of advice and steered me in the right direction. So I was really appreciative of that. But we came up. So basically, the format of the event is stroke play first, and then you if you make flight A, you would progress into the match play phase. So our goal obviously was to make flight A, which is the top 8 teams. And that's very difficult. Like, you're up against the best teams in Europe. So you don't want to, take anything for granted. You have to play your best golf. And we did make top 8, which was great. It was fantastic to see the girls do that. Last year in Iceland, they were just unfortunate to get pipped to make flight A last year. So I think it was a real boost, and they were delighted to make that. And like, we knew going in there we had an unbelievable chance of making flight A, but you never know what's going to happen. You don't know how the week is going to fall, so you really have to keep your wits about you and make sure everybody's focused and ready to go from the start. But when we qualified for flight A, the way then it works is, so we were in 8th, we would play the first seed, so that was Spain. And that was always going to be tough. I mean, if you play against the first qualifiers in any type of sport, they're going to be out to get you from the start. So the girls knew that, though, going into it, and it was all to play for. Again, it's match play, anything can happen. They put up a great fight, but they just came up a little bit short against Spain. But again, a huge learning experience, I think, for them all the same, just to see what maybe the first position qualifiers, what kind of standard they're at as well. So I think it was a good learning experience all the same, even though they came up short. And then after that, then we went on to play Denmark. And so we have foursomes and we have singles. So you'd have foursomes going out first and then our singles. So again, like, every point matters. Like, it's so important that you go out in all the matches trying to get that any point you can on the board for your team. And the girls, again, showed up. They were really amazing. It was just, that one was a complete nail biter. Our second last match, Kate Dillon went on to like the 5th extra hole. So she sank some unbelievable putts coming down the stretch under enormous pressure. So that was just amazing to see, and a huge confidence boost again for the whole team. And I'm sure Kate, she was feeling super, super pumped after that one. And like, the girls have a lot of, experience. Like, they've all had terrific seasons coming into the Europeans. So they just really had to believe in themselves. And I think they really did show that. They fought till the very end, and that showed against England as well when we got through to play the 5th and 6th playoffs. So England, the girls know those girls inside out. They travel a lot together. So I think it's always, an added bit of spice when you're playing against a friend. So they had to kind of, get into maybe a different mindset for that as well. But that one also came down to the wire, and we won 3-2 in that match. So close, so close. It could have gone anyway, but the girls stuck with it, going down the 18th. 2 matches went down the 18th. So it was intense.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely, and it's incredible, the talent in these girls, especially so young. These girls are still
Exactly,
so
yeah.
in their teens. This has to stand to these girls when it comes to a couple of years' time, when they're playing in more senior competitions. Something like this, it has to be such an incredible experience for them.
Oh, hugely, yeah. Like, 2 of them now off that team will go head over to the States now. So, taking that all on with them and heading over there, huge, experience to have in the back pocket and to draw on going forward. And then for the other kind of 4 girls, that could have been their first or second Europeans. And again, each year is going to be different, different climate, different course, different staff maybe that are there. So all of those elements you bring together, you keep in the memory bank, and it has to be beneficial for them going forward. And I know they found the week really amazing. And yeah, I mean, they still have a big long season ahead. So even getting that result, it's been 13 years since we've qualified for that flight, which is huge. So it kind of just highlights, I think, the progression and the development that is happening in the women's game and girls' game of golf for us to get that result. So I really hope now it took them a minute for it to sink in, but I definitely, after in the evening, and after they processed it, they were really like, wow, like, yeah, that was a huge achievement. So we just have to capitalize on that, keep working hard, keep doing our kind of business, and progress forward with that. But yeah, huge one for the girls.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to everyone involved, and congratulations also to yourself, Sarah, and the rest of the management team on a fantastic week for all the teams, which we will talk about later on as well. But your role, as we said, Golf Ireland is the high performance coordinator. Can you tell us in normal words what does that entail?
Okay, so it does involve a lot of, it has a lot of admin, it has a lot of logistics, coordination. You're working with different people a lot of the time, whether it's coaches, our area pathway managers, parents, there's selections for our different coaching panels that normally happen around September, October time. And then we have four different kind of coaching panels. So this year we brought in our pathway development program, which is started in July. So that's for under 12 boys and girls, and uh, they'll receive 4 2-hour coaching sessions. So it's really to give them a nice kind of building block into our area development program. So maybe for players who maybe have received some coaching before but are looking to maybe get a few more on course experience, or working closely with more of our coaches to kind of get a more detailed grasp of the basics. So we implemented that this year, and then those players who kind of meet certain standards will then progress into our area development program, which runs from under 12s to under 16s in the boys and the girls. So again, we have specific handicap criteria for each kind of coaching panel. And each of those age groups, say for under 12, 14, and 16, have a specific handicap limit or criteria where you would be eligible for selection. And we would be encouraging players in all coaching programs, but especially as they get into area development and performance development, to be playing in championships, whether it's hopefully Golf Ireland championships, and also club competitions, to make sure they're lowering their handicaps and getting as much opportunity to play golf and lower their indexes. And then from area development, then you can progress into performance development, and then which is from under 15. We have two, under 15 and under 17, for boys and girls, and then above that will be our national underage and men's and women's squad. So there's a huge pathway for players to pop in and out of. You're not maybe going to get a player who progresses all the way through. They might get to a certain point, maybe drop off for a year or so, and then come back in at a later point. So it's really to accommodate players who develop at different points, and making sure we have those pathways to incorporate progression at each stage. And so I would work a lot on developing and rolling out those programs, making sure they're run all around the country, and getting our venues set up for that, and the application and selection process. So that runs all the way around the year, really. And then our team trips, which kick off then around April, May time, and they run all the way through to October, really, this year, the late one. So yeah, it's all go.
I was going to say, similar to Neil last week, it sounds busy. Sounds very,
Yeah.
very busy.
Yeah.
But that's busy's good. Busy's good.
Yeah, definitely. And we have a great team in Golf Ireland, lots of support around us. So that's the main thing.
Absolutely, yeah. Another initiative that you guys have done is the Chip and Chat. The second Chip and Chat is actually upcoming at Leopardstown Driving Ridge. First of all, tell us about that initiative, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be working on this. So myself and Suzanne Logan, who was our women in golf coordinator, we kind of came up with this idea around Christmas last year, and we were kind of toying whether we thought it would work, whether it might not. And we then actually pitched it to different staff members in Golf Ireland, and we got their full support. So we are running a pilot program this year. It's 4 different events. So we had our first one in April, We have our next one on July 25th, which is actually just sold out. Very excited. And then we'll have October and November as well. So really the aim of the program is to encourage women and girls, probably towards, working young women, I would say, who want to maybe take up golf, who have maybe played before, but to give them a space to play golf and develop it in a relaxed, fun environment. Like I kind of mentioned, when I was playing, there was a stage where I was, in my early 20s, I had nobody really to play with that was my own age in my golf club. So it's kind of giving them that avenue to meet people in golf who love sport, make new friends, and definitely in a fun way, because, I think it's a historic thing that maybe golf, it's very competitive. It's not, maybe women wouldn't maybe pick it as their first choice to play, sport to play, but actually we're trying to, show golf that in a modern light, and it's inclusive, it's for all abilities. So I think that's how and why Chip and Chat has been so successful so far, because there's definitely an appetite out there, and it certainly showed in the first two events when they've sold out. So I'm very excited to see how the next one on the 25th is going to go.
Absolutely, it's brilliant. The sellout is always, as you say, it's a good sign that there's a huge interest for it. Remind us again, when is the Leopardstown driving range event?
That is, so it's on the 25th of July. So it's for 2 hours, 7 to 9, and there's the option to receive some group coaching. You'll also have access to, full range balls, TrackMan, drinks and snacks on the night. So then our one in October, slightly different format. We're actually going for lunar golf. So maybe for people who don't know what lunar golf is, it's basically played like in the evening when it's nice and dusk and dark, and they light up the whole kind of reduced length golf course, but say 9 holes, and it's a scramble. So there'd be 4 people on a team. You wouldn't be on your own, and you'd be playing, and they light up the whole course in LED lights, the golf balls, the equipment, the flag poles, everything. So there'll be music, there'll be food. It'll be good fun. And it's, again, just something fun for people to try and kind of get involved in golf in a fun way.
I want to go. Can you make an exception for me, Sarah? I really want to do that. That sounds amazing. I've seen like night golf before, right? Where the floodlights and all that. It does look amazing, especially with the ball in the air. It's just it's obviously takes a lot of money to do that, but it looks incredible. But well, look, Sarah, that's fantastic. We really enjoyed having you on. Thank you for giving us all that information. Really appreciate you giving up your time as well to come on the Golf Ireland pod here. So thank you very much.
No problem. Thanks so much.
And thanks again to Sarah for joining us here on the Golf Ireland pod. Brilliant to talk to her. Clearly so passionate about the game and her job. So thanks again to her. Now let us look to the action that is upcoming this week. Kicking off today actually is the Ulster Boys and Ulster Girls Open Amateur Championships, which are both taking place at Hilton Temple Patrick. That kicks off today, Wednesday, July 19th, and finishes up Friday, July 21st. So best of luck to all the competitors there in the boys and girls divisions. If you're in around the area, get down and watch some of the best and brightest talent in the country at the moment, or you can keep an eye on all the social media channels there for Golf Ireland to keep up to date with the scores and all the action. So best of luck to all involved there. And also our very own Alex Maguire is continuing a fantastic season that he's already had by playing in the Open this week. He will be teeing it up in Hoylake. After the last couple of months and a couple of incredible results, he is qualified for the Open, and will be teeing it up Thursday and Friday, and hopefully Saturday and Sunday all going to plan, which is absolutely a huge accomplishment for Alex, and only a just reward for his incredible play this year and some incredible results. So he will be flying the flag for Golf Ireland over at Hoylake, and I guarantee you we will all be checking in and hopefully seeing him show the world just how good he is. And representing Golf Ireland in doing so. So congratulations and best of luck to Alex, and best of luck, should I say, to all the Ulster boys and girls who are taking part in those amateur championships at Hilton Temple Patrick. And we will be back next week to recap all that action. So until then, we will see you.